strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every You are my strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. There's a tragedy in every ember. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every
I can picture what you're thinking of. My imagination's not enough. Oh, no, it's not safe to say what you're always looking for. Hey, someone to make you feel like. Don't wanna think of all the who's that you can pick and choose for. I wanna make you feel like. Talk about us like you want it. Stop talking like, ooh, we ain't lost it. You don't seem to know, ooh, you're on cruise control. Don't wanna think of all the who's that you can pick and choose. talking like, ooh, we in our stage. You don't seem to know, ooh, oh, you're in cruise control. Gotta know, know. Gotta know, know. standing up too high with nowhere to fall down to. Empathy around you. Instead of looking back, you heard it all before. Now losing what you didn't know you had. What you really needed, but you're really trying to get away from it. Basic instincts overpowering. You still have this urge. This could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us. When this could be good enough for us.
Here it is, the brand new Asus ROG Maximus 12 Hero Wi-Fi motherboard. This Z490 based motherboard supports Intel's 10th gen processors. It's designed to offer an outstanding experience, stock or overclocked. The advanced VRM features an impressive 16 power stages to ensure more than enough power under heavy loads. This Hero not only looks cool, but stays cool by design. This new heatsink design is bigger, better, and cooler than previous models. A 3-zone VRM heatsink with a large heat pipe keeps the power circuitry cool. And the M.2 heatsinks keep up to 3 SSDs at the right temperature for consistent performance. To the right of the CPU socket, we have 4 DDR4 DIMM slots for up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. Thanks to our Optimum 3 design and a new daisy chain topology, the Hero can overclock to higher frequencies like 4800 MHz and beyond. With support for our exclusive AI overclocking, AI cooling, and ROG Game4 6 software with AI networking, your system can automatically tune itself for the best performance with a few clicks. Setting the industry standard is our pre-mounted I/O shield, making installation a breeze. The back panel includes plenty of USB 3.1 Gen 1 and Gen 2 ports, USB-C, ultra-fast Intel Wi-Fi 6, dual LAN ports featuring 5G and 1G connectivity, Bluetooth 5.1, and analog and optical audio outputs powered by ROG Supreme FX for an immersive audio gaming experience that draws you deeper into the action. To expand your system even further, you'll find a USB 3.2 Gen 2 front panel connector, 3 PCIe 3.0 by 16 slots, 2 of which include our safe slot designed to keep your GPU safe and secure, 2 RGB lighting zones, one on the chipset and the other on the I/O shroud. Addressable and standard RGB LED headers let you coordinate lighting effects across your entire setup with Aura Sync. The best just got better with the Asus ROG Maximus 12 Hero Wi-Fi motherboard.
Well, put to bed, so to speak, as we come into week 4 of season 5 of the XP Esports Women's League. My name is Blue Panda, back on the broadcast today with Proto. Proto, it was a hard foot road to get to here. We're here, we're ready to go. We're ready to see some interesting action this week.
I tell you what, it was an interesting lobby, but we managed to come out on top. And here we are for week number 4 here, back on the Women's League and some big games here tonight. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, on the cards, it's a bit of a slugfest. See who can break away from the rest of the pack, determine that top seed position. I mean, it could go any number of ways off the back of this week, and the 2 rounds that we'll be playing here tonight, definitely keen to see how it plays out. Well, look, let's have a cheeky peek at the standings to see how things have gone so far this season, see how the teams have spaced them out throughout the entire run of the stage. And look, we see a couple of front runners up first who are taking some big wins, namely Quacked and Skyfire sitting first and second, both poised to take that first spot. I mean, Quacked might even be able to hold on to it, but Skyfire definitely hot on their heels in the coming weeks.
Oh, look, Skyfire are definitely going to be looking to hunt down that top spot. Fallen Angels possibly going to be looking for that second spot. I mean, if Quacked managed to be dealt a loss here tonight, then we could be on for some big upsets in terms of the standings in these next coming weeks, especially if Quacked can't manage to get back on their feet straight away.
Yeah, well, on the docket tonight is probably going to be the determining factors on how that first through third even seed stands by the end of the evening. So up first, round number 7 on the cards is definitely looking to be an interesting one. We will be taking Wrens versus Quacked on the mainstream here to kick things off, rightfully so. The remainder of the matches in round 1, Viking Army versus Silex, Grumpy Grapes versus Fallen Angels, and then Skyfire versus the Radical Rebels. Now, Viking Army, they have fallen somewhat from grace. They ended Playday number 1 in second and have dropped all the way to the bottom 3, so they're definitely looking to bounce back a little bit off tonight.
The Viking Army are definitely going to be fighting for it, as you said, that round 1 they will be taking on the Silex Angels, but then come round 2 when they take on Wrens, we will be there to bring you all that action to see if they can indeed bounce back up from the bottom.
Round 2, we see, look, some more interesting matches. We are going to be taking Viking Armies and Wrens here on the main channel for that one, but there's interesting things that could go in the standings. Fallen Angels versus Radical Rebels, obviously looking to push through a little bit further. Radical Rebels are looking to bounce back, pick themselves up a big win, but Fallen Angels, they find themselves currently in top 3, looking to try and keep neck and neck with the Wrens, who are sitting just behind them on round differential alone. So there's a lot that could come out of this week in terms of the play. But yeah, look, let's dive into our matches here for tonight. Like I said, up first for the mainstream here is going to be Wrens versus Quacked. And then round 2, we're taking Viking Army versus the Wrens. So a double header for the Wrens girls here.
The Wrens girls are going to be having a big night. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform across the 2 different matches, 2 very different caliber teams. Obviously, Quacked being that number 1 and Viking Army, as you said, being that higher tier team at the start, but now ultimately, unfortunately, being kicked down to one of the lower sort of rungs. But they are looking to sort of come back tonight, and Wrens are going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a battle of the ages, honestly, for more than anything. I mean, first versus fourth to kick things off, Quacked versus Wrens. If Wrens can pick that victory up, it propels them into a position to contest top 3. So that's where things start to get even more interesting. And Viking Armies, they're looking to push for that top 4. Obviously, with playoffs, this is how it all works. You want to make sure you're top 4 by the end of the season. Well, let's get into match number 1 here, Proto. And a big part of how that all plays out is where we see them duke it out in the map vetoes. Already, we see things kicking off. Villa Consulate banned out first. Chalet taken away by the Wrens. Cafe the response. Coastline and Clubhouse, the 2 Cs to close out the ban phase, which takes us to Oregon.
I think Oregon is definitely a fan and player favorite in the Women's League. We see it played a lot, a very staple map between the majority of the teams. Could just be the comfort sort of factor for it, but ultimately a very, very good map for both of these teams to duke it out here tonight for this first game. Would have liked to see Chalet, but ultimately we're not going to be blessed with that tonight. Oregon is going to be where we choose to duke it out, and it's going to be big.
Yeah, a little bit more standard, a little bit more stable on the whole as a map, so no real surprises there. This is obviously again, a case of the most preparation that any team could be coming into this. A lot of strats prepped, a lot of it really, but I mean, obviously with the new addition of Flores into the competitive pool, there are certain former strats that were, the mainstay for a map like this, your elbow hold with the smoke, even the attic holds, that are no longer quite as prevalent. Flores does expose those weaknesses. And honestly, operator bans as well are going to play a huge part in it and as how that plays out. So whether or not he gets banned out is going to be an interesting one. But look, I'm back on the broadcast. I'm ready to go. I want to get into some of these action, so we might as well take our fly through of Oregon. Have a cheeky look. Have a seat where we're going to be playing this map out today. Look at it. It's lovely. It's wonderful. It is a mainstay of competitive Rainbow Six. And kicking things off, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath, I reckon.
Especially if Flores is left in. If Flores is left in, this game is definitely going to be an interesting one, especially on sunny Oregon. But we're going to have to start things off here with the bans, as you always do. I'm calling a Thatcher to start things off, pretty standard. And whether or not they choose to follow it up with Flores is going to be the next big question here for tonight's matchup.
Okay, all right, cool. Good job. The dad joke's already coming in hard and fast. Rens, yeah, there you go. Thatcher ban to kick things off. Now, the question obviously has to be, do we see Flores banned out? Do we see the likes of a Maverick? There's any number of options really coming into the current state of the game. And, well, the onus will be on Quacked as to what they want to take away here. Definitely thinking about it. You can tell the time used here in this attacking ban, it's going to be a Jackal instead. So Maverick and Flores going to be allowed to get through.
Flores is a big operator on Oregon. I've been sort of seeing a few games recently where you can shut down literally pretty much every bomb site just with those Rotero drones. There's so much you can get control of with just his utility, and him slipping through here for Oregon is going to be pretty big for Quacked, obviously starting on that attack, and Mira following through. So double Spaniard ban here for Quacked, but I think they chose to leave the Flores up because they want to be playing it.
Yeah, it turns out no habla Espanol is the play style approach here for Quacked, and Cade going to be the final ban here. No Attila Claus coming through. It definitely is an operator that has seen priority around a map like Oregon, but I mean, it leaves certain things up like the Wemai, Malusi, although Malusi not really seeing as much ban priority as of late, but there's still other operators that could have been ban worthy but have been let through. There you go, Angerwolf on the Valkyrie, another one worth mentioning here. But kicking things off, it's going to be Ren starting off on the defense on Dorms of all things. And well, look at this, Time for Pi already hovering something a little bit different. Switches out for the Zofia, but there's still chances for that six-pick to come through.
If the in comes out, I'll be very happy. Time for Pi, last season's MVP, already looking to do some interesting things here, but it doesn't look like she wants to give it a little tease there on the first round. No Ying for us to start off, and similarly not a Blitz, unfortunately, but still an interesting operator choice. Would have been the Ying, but no. Zofia starting on the top floor, pretty standard setup here for the Rens. We've got some normal utility being placed towards attic, rotates being made, etc., working like clockwork to get this site set up. The Valkyrie from Angry Wolf is probably going to be the key choice here on this sort of operator selection that I've sort of taken an eye to when I see this setup, because we don't see Quacked bringing that IQ, or Flores notably, at all here for this first round.
Yeah, no Mozzie, no Mute either, which, I mean, your standard counters to a Flores pick. We've seen it a couple of times so far in the Women's League, but still a hesitation, it feels, in terms of bringing him into an actual attacking lineup. Belt cam goes out. Angulf going to get the barricade down in time. Diana sniffing things out, anticipating some sort of spawn pick. Not going to happen. Diana, one of the few players that actually played the Blitz, ironically enough, last stage. Brought it out in one round, picked up a double kill before dying, so it's not like it's out of the realms of possibility that we could see it. It was on Oregon as well. Oh, okay. First frag found. Soy spots the head. Cortari, dad jokes aside, is well swept aside herself.
Very quickly as well, might I add. Quacked have done well here to get this first pick on the board, albeit with Qatari obviously holding the punch hole there through meeting. No bullet holes allowed anymore, removed obviously with the most recent patch. So a risky play to try and pull off early here, but an early pick in favor of Rens would have been big, especially against a team like Quacked. But unfortunately, no picks on the board just yet for the defenders. However, the Valkyrie camera still outside, it seemed. I saw some yellow pings coming out there, so we could see a big jump out here coming very soon from Angry Wolf. Walls, however, are the main focus here for Quacked. Attic will now be opened up. And Bernabet is indeed going to find Soy there, just inside of Armory, on the bottom of main stairs, it seems, through the holes out the bottom of the main door. And a 4v4, 1 minute 30 left. Still a lot of things to do here for Quacked.
Una will rotate herself into Trophy as well, trying to anticipate whatever movement, whatever aggression Quack will be showing. You can see that Diana on the drone hunting for the positioning that she was formerly holding. No longer. Now it pushes through Trophy. Will spot her out. It's going to lose that drone as well. They are just dwindling away that information. You can see only 5 of the 10 drones left available to them at the moment. Only 4 of those in play. Meeps does find one, but Bernabet is unfortunately sacrificing the other side of that coin. Donor swings in, finds her. So they are starting to pinch on in. Meeps swings for a second, finds Crips, gets diffuser control as well. Diana now desperately having to squander and flounder her way in, trying to find an opening. Angry Wolf looking down the angle and shutting that opportunity away. Quack miss out just a little bit. Oh, that's a big pick to be finding. Sporky runs into the lasers of the Claymore, and the woman count rather will be brought back even.
Done well there, picking up that Claymore from beyond the grave. But Diana and AJ still have a lot to do here. They need to find Meeps that does have that elusive diffuser control, with Angry Wolf supporting from all the way back by Bunks. 2 very capable players, but Diana on low HP, very similar to the Jaeger of Meeps. They're going to push on into Attic. The drone coming through from Diana to support here. AJ on the push, will get downed. Not taken out just yet by Meeps, however, but the call's being made. Zping will come out. She's going to get a yellow ping of herself. The swing round from Meeps taken out by Diana, though. Diffuser retrieved. No, diffuser not retrieved.
No,
2 seconds
you got to pick it up
to try and find this kill. But thrown behind Bunks. Valkyrie hides it out. You can't walk over it anymore. No frag found, and an early round going to Rens.
I don't know. I just don't know whether that was, recognizing there wasn't enough time left, missing out on picking up the diffuser, forgetting to hit the button. Whatever it was, it has resulted in the Rens picking up a round despite a very solid start from Quacked. Missing the mark just a little bit there in timing. The drone from Diana towards Attic didn't quite go deep enough to spot out Meeps. Yes, she was able to trade out after AJ went down, but just honestly, a few feet further, that drone would have spotted Meep. They would have been able to contest it just a little bit more comfortably. But ultimately, it does cost them. Rens will pick that up, move onto the basement. We see, again, a bit of a change. This time, instead of the Valkyrie, it's the Warden coming out.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
It's interesting that they pick the Warden here with such little smoke/flash utility in the hands of Quacked. We do have AJ, obviously, with the 3 flashbangs. Time for Pi does have those 2 stuns. However, I think the main reason the Warden is being brought here, and you will momentarily see, is going to be that deployable shield. Momentarily is now being placed inside of that elbow position, as opposed to bringing the smoke. Interesting that Rens are not choosing to bring the smoke over the Warden. MPX, don't get me wrong, a great gun. SMG-12 as well, great gun. Warden's kit, though, I would not sort of put on par with Smokes in terms of denial. And in terms of denial for Rens, they don't really seem to have a lot other than Sporky with a C4.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. You question it too much and it starts to break things down. Obviously, the Rens, they've come in with a plan. Know what they want to be doing here. And yeah, only the 3 flashes available for AJ. So the gadget, the glasses are only going to get in use. Big damage dealt. We're ready to kick things off. Big tags and a finish on Cortari, who now 2 rounds in a row has been the opening death for Rens. Unfortunate, but I mean, that alibi, it's a great gun to have, and unfortunately, it's not going to have any effect for the remainder of the round.
Yes, the MX Storm is not going to be doing any more storming this round. It's going to be retired for a small amount of time. Sporky's going to have to drop here, though. We'll get the drone, so some information denied for now, but time for Pi laying in wait to pick this frag up. Will spot the arm out, and indeed will collect the double for herself here inside of Zulu. 3v5 here. Rens have still a good amount of bodies on site to try and hold their way. Quacked here, but now opening up the hatches. They've sort of forfeited blue here, reinforced and rotated some utility. So good to see from Rens adapting to the remainder of this round. But with that mute down and gone already, unless there's a mute jammer on that wall, bunker is definitely going to be sort of an option here for Quacked if they want to get more of a pinch onto the site, which could be what they're looking for here. With hatch control now, they still have a lot of time to make their way towards the site and sort of take it on however they want. Rens are definitely going to have their work cut out for them here.
Yeah, they're going to have to be smart. Time management was a big issue for them last round. So hopefully this time they can accelerate things just a little bit. Prep themselves for the explosion onto the site and make it happen. Meeps watching. Big Tower does have the coverage of the magnet and that ADS there sitting on the pillar. Sawyer's going to have to hit that shot and hit it quickly. Does she have any idea that Meeps is just tucked in around the corner by the boiler? We can see it obviously, and there we go. The jiggle out will give away the game. No one trading damage back. This is just perfect. Meeps continuing to drain the time down, deterring them even momentarily could be enough to throw this round in the favor of the Rens.
Soy's going to take a little bit of damage there from an altercation with the Wamai, but ultimately nothing too deathly yet. Meeps as well going to take some of that damage back, and it's coming down to the wire here. 30 seconds left. We're waiting for the explosion onto site from Quacked. It's about to get very quick with Freezer barricaded, though. Diana's going to have to go with an E-box drop here, possibly trying to clear some utility for her teammate. Down to taking out, though. Soy's going to confirm. Crips a lot of damage dealt to her as well, but Angry Wolf going to find one onto AJ. Diana to trade back. Down onto Crips T. It's all up to Burner Bear, but Diana to close things out, and Quacked answer back with one of their own.
Overwhelming force in the face of adversity is the answer, and well, this time it's the right one. They get themselves the round, equalize that score count. Time management was still a bit iffy coming into the end. Just the sheer amount of bodies flooding into the bomb site was enough to turn the tide and pick them up that win. Didn't hurt that Soy got the kill onto Meeps moments earlier as well, but it's not a strategy that you want to be relying on too heavily for the remainder of the map, because yeah, we see these changes coming in. Goyo for Angry Wolf at the moment was 6 picked out onto the Warden last round, but if you bring a Vulcan Shield, you pair it with the likes of the Aruni, this is going to be a much slower attack coming out, and that's something that I don't think Quacked can afford.
The time that Quacked are leaving for themselves at the end of these rounds is definitely becoming a little bit of a hindrance for them. We saw it there, and they did have to rely on their ones with not arguably as much control as they maybe had hoped for / wanted. But they still made it work. They did very well to get into the site to get those picks. But hats off to Meeps as well, who spent so long wasting time on those back stairs there, sort of just toying with Soy. Ultimately could have put Rens in a position to win that, but ultimately losing the gunfight was rather unfortunate. But they are going to give it another go. As you said, they do have some switch-ups here. We do have the Goyo bringing those Vulcan shields, so a bit more denial on the board to possibly waste a little bit more of that precious time that Quacked are so strained for. But it is going to come down to how they take this control early. We don't necessarily see Katari on that roam anymore due to the fact that she has died a couple times very early on. And instead, we see Burner Bear upstairs. Is she going to stay there on the Jaeger? Nope, she's going to come back downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a couple of different ways to approach a bomb site like this. You'll see the majority of teams will play a bit of a roam upstairs, 1 or 2 players, depending on how confidently those players can take these gunfights. And the strategy is waste time, burn utility, and then pull back towards the bomb site the later it gets into the round. But at the moment, it looks like we have the full bunker setup. That's the alternate strategy on a bomb site like this. You all hunker down on the basement level, set yourselves up and take the gunfights as they come to you. But unfortunately, at the moment, for the Rens, it's not like, you know, the Quacked girls are losing those gunfights. Diana at the moment, 4 kills, 0 deaths, is still winning those gunfights. And if she can keep that momentum up, I would be concerned if they were able to hold on to this.
Quacked definitely do have the mechanical skill required to win these gunfights. Diana, as you said, 4-0, doing really, really well for Quacked right now. The only mitigating factor is going to be that time. They're going to spot out this vertical play. They have to worry about all this stuff upstairs, albeit no roamers from Rens are going to be present. and they are still going to be clearing the top floor. But it's good to see that they have that sort of drilled in. You need to be doing these roam clears because you never know. Rens could be on a flank. They could be sort of setting up to try and retake the top floor, but they are hunkered even downstairs, holding on for dear life right now. They've spent a lot of time letting them gain control, just waiting for them to collapse onto this bottom floor. Sporky inside of Old Mirror. Qatari now joining her teammate inside of Blue. I'm surprised Quack haven't pushed any pressure towards that double door, but it's all going to start coming and collapsing onto the site in this last minute.
It's also a case of they're not causing Quack to halt it too much at all. They are just marching on, and they've got now control of Laundry. They can start to take some of these aggressive fights. These angles, Diana on the drone, spots out Burner playing just inside that freezer container area. They can start to pressure, and there we go. Frag grenade. It's Crips to find the opener. Perfectly placed, just arced in. Time for Pi finds Sporky as well. They have approached this very, very cleanly. They've found the angles they needed to. They've opened up those weaknesses of this Ren's defense. Identifying the fact that there was no one upstairs meant they could prioritize the execute.
They've done very well getting in as far as they have, but with 20 seconds left, Rens need to hold on for just that little bit longer. The positioning here and the crossfire setup is good for them to hold on to this round, at least for a little bit longer. The double swing though, Soy's going to find Meeps. Angry will get one. Qatari, one of her own. Time for Pi on to Angry Wolf, and it's all up to Qatari. Will get the last, but the 1v1, Diana from behind to clean things up, and Quacked again will prevail on the bottom floor.
Diana, deathless, going at around 4, still picking up the last one. They're currently sporting, what, a 5-0 KD?
5-0.
That's not bad in the slightest. There you go, 500. She's cracked it. Absolutely just monstering this Ren's defense at the moment. So, cause for concern. Rens have to change something up, and that's the call. They won Dorms in the first round. Now it's unlocked going into the fourth. They're going to head back there, but I don't know if that's the play, honestly, given that it was 1 on the clock and Quacked were very, very close to being able to contest that 1v1 anyway. I don't know quite whether or not this is the call.
Your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I'm surprised we haven't seen an attempt at a tertiary site here from Rens, given that, yes, that one round that they did manage to win came down to a nail-biting 1v1. And very similarly, that both times they've played the bottom floor have been largely unsuccessful due to early picks going in favour of Quacked. Could have seen a tertiary side attempt here, but with Cade banned, that could be hindering Ren's ability to hold these tertiary sites. We do see Cade used a lot, sort of holding that quad wall between the meeting and the attic wall, as well as the 2 walls we see reinforced there towards Master. So we could see operator bans coming in as an effect here for Rens, but top floor, they did win it. They're going to have the confidence here that they just don't have at the moment for the bottom floor, and ultimately the confidence could be the factor that they need to just put these rounds on the board.
Well, we are seeing, again, the same approach coming out of Quack. They're liking this attacking lineup. No Flores just yet. They are happy to stick it out as it is. And Diana looking to kick things off very quickly. Gets that window open into Classroom. Time for Pi in Big Tower as well. Just look at the coverage they are trying to anticipate. Run out, spawn peaks, anything of that nature. Trying to shut down any roam attempts. And Angry Wolf for the toss of the Nitro Cell out the game's window. Not going to find anything, unfortunately. Just utility wasted at this stage. They're going to dump that utility even further on the attacking side into Classroom. Get themselves the opening, but it's Qatari finding the head of Diana, rotating down to the basement. For the first time, we see Qatari find the opener and find a success on this roam.
Well, instead of being the first kill, she's gone and found herself the first frag, ultimately switching the tides in her favour. Crips T will be opening up that big tower double wall now, though, for that attic control here. Quacked need to make do with what they have left. Ultimately, losing an Ashe is not as bad as losing, say, the Maverick here, or even the Habana in this take, but a minute 30 left with the walls open is pretty good time here for Quack. They still have a lot to use. However, this this Valkyrie camera is going to be a big issue for this Attic player here if they cannot deal with it. Time for Pi is most likely being just constant pinged here, and indeed she is all the way up. They're going to push back. Meeps is going to get the reinforcement off, giving the attackers Attic so close to losing out on her own life. Main wall now ultimately as well, but Sporky's going to find Crips from below with a C4, and with a minute left, down 3 men. No, refrag through the hatch. Time for Pi is going to find one of her own, and a 4v3 in favor of Ren's. Quacked need to clean this round up.
Yeah, when in doubt, don't tuck and hide. You're probably going to get spotted, especially with the drone coverage that we see out of Quack. So pretty easy refrag there from the girls. They do bring it back with N1, so it's entirely doable, especially with time for Pi fragging out the way that she is at the moment. They can push on in. If they can get some sort of cover, enable that cross. But look at the positioning. They have entries in. They got the coverage they need to. Bernabé going to be tagged up. Time for Pi swings. They might even be able to pinch her from Master Bedroom as well. 2 players stacked in small dorms. And then Cortari down below. If they can cut off the angle, if they can set up a crossfire. And there we go. AJ, walking in, gets the kill for onto 1, spots the second. Time for Pi looking to go for that plant. They need to shut down Meep, stop it from contesting. So he falls for the trades there. Bearing 9 in hand, Cortari finds that kill back onto AJ. Time for Pi successfully gets the plant down. They can now play for the post. Angry Wolf and Cortari, they have to swing together. They have to find the lineup. They have to find the angle. But look at the positioning. This is entirely favorable for Time for Pi. There's no way to long arm this. They're going to have to dual swing it. There's one Cortari, and they're both looking to find the frag. But Time for Pi onto Cortari, leaves it at the hands of Angry Wolf, gets the down, and Rens will be able to snatch the victory from the brink of disaster. Angry Wolf not even bothered, gets the defuse. Rens take round 4. And this time, again, still close to the line, but it's a victory.
Again, Rens scrape on by with the round in their favor. That top floor confidence must be a thing because they've definitely managed to pull it off. In style, might I add. They managed to get those frags. Could have stopped the plant there. Meeps did go huge, sort of swinging it on round to try and pick up some of those kills, but ultimately was taken out. But very well done by Rens to even the score. I'd imagine they're going to go for the 3-3 half here if they're playing logistically. They're going to give Laundry another go, the 6 pick off of the Goyo to bring back the Warden. Interesting decision, but ultimately they were closer to holding down that bottom floor with the Warden in play. So could be, again, that comfort pick coming out for Angry Wolf. Maybe she prefers the MPX, the 1.5. I know that it is a very good gun. I personally really enjoy it. So could be a personal pick. But right now, Rens are looking to try and lock this bottom floor down from Quacked, who have taken it very convincingly 2 rounds in a row when it was played. So Rens really need to look at changing something here if they want to hold on to the bunker.
Yeah, I can't say whether or not this is enough diversity for them to be able to take it away here, but at the moment, I mean, they got the last round. They can weather that storm, but there's still 2 rounds and a half. So far, they have yet to have a success on this bomb site. There was an option of a tertiary. They have not played into it. No smoke once again. They are attempting, for the most part, the exact same hold that we saw the last time, but with some minor offsite changes. But yeah, look at them. They've all rotated back down, so they are going for that hard bunker once again, playing for overwhelming odds, playing for the dual angles, the crossfires. And last time, it didn't much matter to Quack. They were able to win those gunfights, win those trades, set themselves up with the utility available, kicking things off with that massive frag grenade at Crips to take down Burnabout. So you got to wonder why set up exactly the same when Quack were able to read it so cleanly.
Also, I don't actually think we've seen a smoke at all from Rens. Am I wrong, Panda? I don't recall seeing a smoke at all.
I don't think so.
In this matchup so far. So interesting operator selections here from Rens, not bringing the more standard denial type operators. Not even Echo has been bought yet by Rens. So relying more on a utility-based denial in terms of Vulcan shields and C4s, but ultimately they have made the C4s work. We've seen Sporky hit some pretty big C4s so far. I believe we saw Atari hit one. They're making their denial utility work without bringing that sort of standard denial utility. Quacked are already making their way into the top floor. We see the top floor control completely droned out. Obviously, with no roam presence here from Renz, it's going to be largely uncontested. This is a filthy angle from Kotari through the lawn chair, just reclining herself inside a blue bunker, waiting for someone to come. I don't even think the drone's going to spot her there unless Soy checks thoroughly, which indeed she is. I don't even think if Kotari had moved there, she probably wouldn't have been spotted, but she's going to shoot the drone and give away her position, forcing the rotation back towards the site. And coming towards the last minute of this round, Quack seem to be in that very same position where they don't necessarily have a lot of control. And in a 5v5, this is going to be a lot harder to pull off than it was in the previous round.
Once again, though, we see a lot of utility committed onto that elbow hold. Time by Spot Sporky. Re-swings, finds the frag. And it seems like Renz might get themselves punished the exact same way they did last time they approached this setup. They've lost control of Boiler. Yes, Kotari is watching the cross again from their lawn chair, but there's only so much coverage you can find. They are losing positioning across the board. The drones are going to go deep, find that extra bit of information. They spot the player through the drone hole. I don't know if you can actually find that frag. They're even going to be able to open things on the other side of that wall if Time Papaya can find the right positioning. Spots the Warden, swinging out, angle punished yet again, coming down to the dying 20. Something needs to give, and at the moment, it's looking more and more like it might be the Renz. Diana, can she find that opening? Can she expose the weaknesses? Crips falls to Burnabear, finding two, in fact. Kotari for a third, but Diana's on the jog to answer the call. Back down to a 3 versus 2. Kotari makes it a 3 versus 1. Angry Wolf mops up the last, and it would seem third time is the charm here for the Renz. 3 attempts at the basement. They finally get themselves there and pick up the win.
Well, apparently all Renz needed was a little bit extra woman power on the bomb side. A few extra bodies there to take those fights that couldn't necessarily be watched previously. And for the first time in this matchup, well, second time, they're going to go up in terms of round. 3-2 in their favor right now. Possibly a 4-2 half here if they can win this tertiary bomb site, because this is going to be the first attempt that they've actually had at one of these tertiary bomb sites this game. Valkyrie being bought, and Kotari actually bringing the first smoke here to the party. The way we've seen Kotari play smoke here, though, she's going to be running the FMG9, I believe, as opposed to the shotgun with the new paired up here from Meeps. And indeed she is. FMG9 in hand confirmed.
Well, we see what Kotari can do. A notoriously aggressive player in the Women's League. Of course she was going to be running that FMG9. It's going to be scary to think what she could achieve off the back of this. But yeah, first time into the tertiary, having won the primary and secondary 2 rounds in a row. There was nowhere else they really could go other than kitchen and dining. It a case of preference as to whether or not you go there. There's a lot of setup you can achieve here, but surprising that it took us 6 rounds to see our first smoke.
It's definitely a surprising fact. I mean, a staple in competitive Rainbow Six Siege, at any given level, smoke is usually always bought. But with the introduction of Aruni, smoke isn't necessarily required for these rotates as much as he was back in the day, where Aruni wasn't available. Obviously, the passive being able to punch massive holes in walls is pretty beneficial in terms of making rotates. So could be the reason we haven't seen Renz play the smoke that much here, and especially with Kotari being more of the roam style player that we've seen before from her. Interesting that she's on the smoke, but with the kit that she's sort of bringing along in terms of the FMG9, etc., it's going to be more roam-suited weaponry than the shotgun and SMG is for close range battles, but it's going to come down to how Quack choose to push it. They already have a lot of control of the west side, this being meeting kitchen. We could see an explosion into that west side bomb site here. Diana already has all of Showers under her belt. Could be contested here by Sporky, though, momentarily. We'll spot the drone. Not going to shoot it, though. An interesting ploy here.
Big trigger, this one. Ironic that, talking about Aruni and that she shares a passive with your average silver rank start. Coming in around 6, though. Renz might just be able to sneak away the 4-2 half on the defense. That drone, it's been picked up by Diana, but too late. Sees the toss out the window, comes off the cam, and then is reverted straight back to it in her death. And Sporky doubling up, fighting her second frag of the night, and what a way to do it.
I mean, I was talking about how well Renz had used their C4s, and there is Exhibit A, B, and C. All the way through the alphabet. Sporky read it like a book, straight out the window here. Have this, let me send you a little call. bang, Diana gone. Easy frag, thank you very much. Now leaving Quacked in a 5v4. Still yet to get this back wall open with so much utility now being dumped in their way. Nuke jammers, impacts, etc, etc. It's all going down right now. Time for Five does have a good position here, but we see, well, through the drone hole, she's actually going to take a lot of damage, but we do see one on the flank. Sporky's going to be called out now on the drone, on the bottom of tower stairs, waiting for one of the Quack members to try and swing around, but through the holes in the wall, opened up by Habana previously. Zofia will be there to collect. Time for Five finds the head of Sporky. 30 seconds left here for Quack to execute against the Wrens.
It's all coming together here. Bernabé going to take the concussion straight to the face. Toxic canisters to stall things out on that stage door, and Time for Pie desperately hunting for a pixel. Anything soy swings onto the player who is watching from kitchen angle. Heavily punished, well, heavily deterred for the most part. Meets with the Nitrocella Barone, gets the down at a Time for Pie. It's confirmed by Cortari. The other half of that SAS defensive duo, Angry Wolf just retreating deeper into kitchens. They flood on into meeting Angry Wolf and Meeps Toy for two, Cortari for the third. And Wrens take the 4-2 half. A bit of a shaky mid-ground coming from the midway point of the first half, but they close it out in commanding fashion.
I mean, that round was probably the best defensive round we saw from Wrens in those 6 rounds there. Held it ultimately almost perfectly. A couple of slip-ups, but almost perfectly. The smoke, perfectly done. The flanks, perfectly done. The roam, executed flawlessly. And Quacked really did get punished there. The utility was used awesomely by the Wrens to shut it out, and Quacked really did struggle getting into that site. They had to push through toxic canisters, multiple crossfires, and I don't actually think they found one pick other than a single pick towards the end onto, obviously, the flanker with the nade. Not with the nade, sorry. Time for Pie found that kill. But even still, Wrens, very well done on that tertiary site to lock out a 4-2 half in their favor. Quacked are now left 2 rounds down. However, they now get their turn at defense. They're going to start things off on the top floor. Interestingly enough, the top floor is most of the time the site that we will see sort of run first by both most teams on Oregon.
10 seconds left.
Ultimately, Quacked here, pretty standard lineup. We will see them bringing the smoke. Most likely going to see Crips inside of Attic in the pit position with the shield. Indeed, we are. Crips setting that one up just now. Ultimately, a pretty standard setup, it seems, from Quacked. But Wrens, they have a pretty good amount of utility here to deal with all of the similar utility from the defense.
Well, that's exactly it. Coming into the second half, there needs to be some change of momentum for Quack, because they've been in first place for the longest time this stage. All of a sudden, they're down 4-2 in the half, coming onto their defensive side. Well, that's a good way to kick it off. Take down Cortari first, and instantly remove all their hard breach.
I mean, the only hard breach being bought, getting taken out this early is not something you want. Obviously, a little bit of damage dealt onto Diana there, trying to find that kill, but ultimately the MP5 will reign supreme in that situation, and Qatari will fall. So Wrens are definitely going to have to switch up pace here to try and find a different way to execute into the site. We do see Bernabé and Sporky sort of sneaking through Master towards Trophy. Time for Pie is going to be on that roam with the Diana, however. It's going to be interesting to see how Quacked can still work around the attackers that are still alive. Angry Wolf on the rappel for kids here. Sorry, not on the rappel for kids, but going up to the double window. It looks like Wrens are going to sort of rotate here for a pinch through Trophy and the double window to try and get that bomb down behind the bunks, clearing out the shield now. Sporky using the utility well there. Still have a smoke on the board and possibly 2 C4s in the hands of Quacked. This is going to be a big feat for Wrens to pull off here on their first attacking round.
Yeah, it's going to have to be an absolute brute force. No hard breach online, limited utility in terms of the coverage. And, I mean, you've brought a buck. Why not play below? Why not open up those angles and really contest? Which is exactly what we see Time for Pie doing right now. Playing under that double window, using the barbed wire, using that M590, stepping up even to get closer. Flash grenade does go out, but no one willing to follow it up on the side of the Wrens. it almost feels like this entire round has come apart off that single opening pick.
I mean, they've done well to get that opening pick, especially on the hard breacher. Quacked have really set themselves up here to lock this out because other than Sporky has something to say about it, Soy's going to fall with a lovely headshot. Bernabear's going to get one onto Diana as well. Both flanks now shut down, but AJ's going to get the refrag on the Sporky. Time for Pie will collect Angry from below the hole, and Diffuser ultimately now in her control. The M590 waiting for anyone else to test their luck and jump on in. Ren's only have 15 seconds left. Not a lot of health left on Bernabear. Will be finished off by AJ, and Time for Pie is going to be able to collect that frag on the Meeps through the floor. Ultimately, something that Ren shouldn't have died to cost them the round.
Yeah, look, it was questionable. The operator picks left a lot to chance. They relied heavily on themselves to win those gunfights, and you needed Cortari to get in, open up those long angles, and look, we see a vast change up. Sporky bringing up the zero, some more flank. Watch, Angry Wolf was hovering the Flores, but opts into the IQ instead, going down to the basement. I wonder, maybe just we do see that 6-pick coming out. I would rate the Flores just a little bit more, and there we go. Yeah, Angry Wolf brings it out, the 6-pick coming through.
Finally, some Flores gameplay here tonight. I've been waiting for this. 6 picking off the IQ. Interesting with an echo on the board. However, it was 6 picks, so they couldn't necessarily have known that. But I am very interested to see Bernabear bringing this Dokkaebi. Not a character we usually see being bought in a sort of meta operator lineup, especially for Oregon. More of a consulate pick, but still an interesting operator for Bernabear to be running. And she did make it work last round. Got a couple of kills with that MK14. Phone calls as well, providing a little bit of disturbance. I mean, Quacked have done well setting themselves up on this bottom floor here, though, with the double sort of denial utility, as well as that Aruni. But with the Flores in play, the shield meta that we see being brought out here by Quacked, obviously 2 deployables, is going to be largely shut down by the Retiro drones with no mute and no Mozzie on the board to counter.
Yeah, I mean, in other ANZ competitions earlier this week, we got a phenomenal example of just how useful this Flores can be with those Retiro drones. I mean, I think in one match alone, I got to see in a single round 2 Retiro drones committed, 2 shields, and both ADSs that were played on the doorway, and 3 sets of barbed wire cleared out, all with just those single 2 Retiro drones. It was just efficiency, to say the very, very least. So I'm keen to see what Angry Wolf can pull out of the hat with this one. Setting themselves up for it. They've got a lot of priority in terms of dealing with the flank. Watch, Sporky's charging straight in as the zero. We'll be looking to set up those Argus cams to give themselves the flank. Watch, they've cleared out the top floor already. Now they need to march on and get control of the bomb site.
They've done well time-wise here to clear out this top floor. They will be able to sort of dictate that there is one player from Quacked just sort of lurking just in the back of that attic position, sort of on the tier 2 side of things. They will need to focus on clearing her out. She's going to go up to tier 3 to try and deny as much time as she can here for the defenders. I'm not too sure who is on that roam. I'd imagine it's going to be either AJ or Soy through the wall. We can't quite see inside of tower on tier 3, but she will be still there, I believe. No, it's going to be Diana.
Wrong, just straight wrong.
Straight wrong. She does have one Surya gate in pocket, though. Interesting to see she's still got that utility left for her to play with, but this is good support here from Time for Pie. They are going to be playing for time and picks here, and this is definitely going to be beneficial for Quacked because Wrens don't really have the time now and or the utility to clear her out efficiently.
Good point, bro.
Yeah, they almost need to force straight on down to where Kotari is heading down. Yeah, they need to head to construction. Angry Wolf needs to get there quickly with those Rotero drones so they can start to open up these angles, get themselves in position to contest the bomb site. There's no mute, no Mozzie whatsoever to deal with those Rotero drones. So Crips could find herself in a huge amount of trouble. If you place that drone correctly, you either force her to push deeper into elbow or she gets caught out and dies. And that's exactly, if you can time it properly, you swing in, find the frag, and it's just the freest kill you could possibly find in this setup. So hopefully, if friends get the coordination and the timing right, Crips could find herself dead in the next few seconds.
Here comes the first RCXD. We'll be able to clear out that shield and ultimately, I believe, 2 or even 3 ADSs there off the wall, but with the wall being reinforced now by Cripps, bunker completely sealed off. Burnabear's going to start things off with a good pinch from Main, though, finding Cripps T inside the site. The call to come out, supported by Sporky here, about to explode into the side. Indeed, they will. Going to get an altercation with Soy on the bomb. Will find one. Angry Wolf throw, terror kill, though, is going to take out time for Pi. Soy falls as well as Sporky. The tactical reload, they need to find 2 more. Almost a team kill there. Bomb will start going down. AJ will get leaps. Sporky is down, but not out. 2 attackers in her way. Diana goes huge, though. Finds 1 and the down onto the second. Burnabear taken out, confirmed onto Angry Wolf. It's a 1v2 for Qatari here. Sporky still available to live drone. Will get the first. Qatari with the AK-12. An absolute monstrosity of a rifle to use. The Z-pings, though, could ultimately cause the end of Qatari, and indeed they will. Diana goes huge for 3, but I don't think
they have no idea.
They don't know. He's down. This could be big in terms of time. 20 seconds she needs to go for the defuse and needs to stick it. Gonna hit it for once. And I think ultimately just gonna stick it here. Not too much Sporky can do in her position. Diana will be able to defuse. And Quacked hold on.
Just a big misplay to let Diana snake on through the rotate the way she did. Lined up one, found the down onto the second. And then from there, the information game was just far too strong, enabling her to take that fight against Qatari. And, well, Quacks, they pick the round up. They equalize that score. All of a sudden, it's no longer Ren's with a 2-round lead. It's Ren's fighting to regain control going into round 9.
There was definitely an ability for Ren's to quite easily close that round out had they have a little bit more information on that flank, maybe a Nomad, some sort of drone utility. Burnabear is going to be giving up on that Dokkaebi, though, and bringing that IQ to try and counteract that Valkyrie play and similarly Echo play that we saw on that bottom floor, but ultimately not going to be operators that we see here going down onto the first tertiary site that Quacked are going to be bringing out. Obviously, they have won already the 2 main bomb sites being up and downstairs. Now, moving into meeting kitchen. An interesting operator lineup. Diana bringing out the first castle that we've seen tonight for both teams. But very similarly on the rest of the operators will be very much the same to what Ren's were bringing in terms of this meeting hold. But Ren's do have now that Flores in play, which means that these castle barricades and similarly all the other utility being bought could be destroyed very, very quickly. However, Time for Pi is bringing that mute this time, so a direct counter against those drones now is in play for Quack.
It's going to come down to positioning, and there you go. See, stage wall is going to cop a mute jammer, so they have a little bit of security through that at the very least. And yeah, the castle, it's to deny these long angles, deny the opportunity for them to be cut off and stop the rotate from coming through into the site. A lot of extensions. I really do rate this sort of setup coming out of Quack. They're looking to hunker down. They're looking to deny those opportunities for those long-range threats in terms of the weaponry for Ren's coming into effect. Got the vertical pressure as well, which is something you need to maintain on this bomb site. You need to keep control of small dorms, deny the verticality control over kitchen, and from there it just becomes an absolute slugfest, a desperate push onto meeting, and that's where defenders usually can pick up those wins.
I mean, with the top floor control obviously being held here by AJ, very capable on that Jaeger roam, she's going to have to deal with Burnabear as well as Sporky looking to come and take away the control from that top floor. The hard breach tool being used on the soft wall there to clear it out. It's going to be shot out by AJ, so no hole opened up just yet here for the attackers. Cripps T very similarly sort of just paying attention as to what's going on behind her, but Sporky and Burnabear still have a lot of time here to try and figure out how they want to gain control of this top floor. Having lost that hard breach tool now to open up that angle, it's going to make things a little bit more difficult with Meeps. Obviously on the double window, the sledgehammer not within range to create the holes for them, ultimately opening up the window for herself. Now, it's going to be whether or not they can push Quacked out of these upstairs positions and gain control with the soft breach. It's going to come down to the wire, I'd imagine, here for Ren's. They've already spent a lot of time here.
2 minutes burnt and, well, no information on the site, no angles covering, no opportunity really coming in the near future for them to get into the site itself. And look at that Soy playing through the hatch, waiting for someone to jump into attic. Time for Pie playing below as well. Sporky kicks things off with a big kill onto AJ. Cripps damage, but not enough to find the kill. She will be able to turn it back in favour. They're turning this around all of a sudden. It's Quacked in control. 4 quick frags leaves Angry Wolf alone with 33 seconds left in play. Does have those Rotera drones, does have a full bar of health, but no backup.
No backup indeed. Cripps on 1 HP, but still 300 health remaining for everybody else on the Cracked roster here. Will be looking to clear out that castle barricade with the Rotero drone, but ultimately going to have to deal with Soy here, coming straight on. I think the Rotero drone missed, and Time for Pie definitely won't. The Nitro Cell is going to clean things up. And there you go. That's how it ends. Quacked retake their lead, and Rens now put on the back foot.
Just a flurry of frags. Cripps single-handedly holding down Pit. AJ fell moments earlier. Cripps was able to turn on her head while fully tanking up that Vulcan shield that detonated next to her. Absolute play of the day already. Quick update, though. We do have some match results coming out from round 1. Viking Army took down Silex Angels 7-1. Skyfire did it even better. 7-0 against the Radical Rebels. So 2 big wins for them. 2 big wins that could contest this top 4. Like I said earlier in the day, Viking Army, they dropped down to bottom 3 after their initial kickoff to the stage. Now they're looking to push back on. Skyfire, they're looking to contest Quacked. And honestly, I think if Quacked lose here, they might even lose first place contention.
It's also going to come down to the round differential. I mean, Quacked already losing 4 tonight alone, and Skyfire losing 0. Say they do end up losing a single game, and it does come down to that round differential. This could hurt Quacked quite considerably, depending on how many rounds Rens can actually sort of suffocate.
Actually, no, I think it comes to the head-to-head first. Usually with the high, the round versus rulebook, it's head-to-head, then round differential, which would mean Quack still hold first place because they beat Skyfire 7-3 in round 2.
Gotcha. All right, well, get rid of everything I just said.
We're wrong. Forget what we said. We're just small brains.
Yes, forget it all. Didn't happen. Top floor, bomb site, video game, in the dorms. Quacked here. Could be on for the 6th, looking to make it match point in their favour. Obviously, a very big round 1 just then over the Rens, but ultimately, still Rens are looking like they want to hold on for a little bit longer before this match is over. Burner Bear on the IQ is going to be a good pick here to deal with that mute utility and as well as the magnets, but it could come down to time again. We saw them struggle with it last round. Is that going to be the same jumping in here, or is it going to be completely different?
Well, it's going to be a pretty hectic battle up here in dorms. Some would almost call it a bed war, but it's really going to come down to fragging and information. Time for Pie does just get that drone in the end. Offsite presence is going to be key here, especially playing those nitro cells from below. We see the buck once again from Angry Wolf. Last time we saw this map, they got themselves over towards double. They weren't able to actually get in underneath and clear things out. Their opponents held things down. They didn't give them an inch, let alone the coverage they needed to get down into kitchen. And already we see them having to clear things out. They're looking to get themselves that opening into games, looking to push on through. Time for Pie is just wasting away these drones. Already all gone in the first minute and a half. Sporky looking to open up some angles, looking to find some information. But look at the hesitation coming through from this Rens roster.
Rens almost seems scared of the position downstairs that Quacked have sort of set up for themselves. We see AJ, Time for Pie, all sort of close by playing in these positions. I believe, Soy as well on the top of White there to help contest that double door angle. I mean, Quacked have it set up so well. Diana as well at the top of Freezer. I mean, they have it set up so well here. Sporky, however, is going to find AJ to start things off inside of the actual kitchen itself. So the only person close by to find this refrag is going to be Time for Pie on the long angle here. Burner Bear losing a lot of her own HP. Time for Pie will find Sporky. A lot of damage dealt, however, though, to Burner Bear on the IQ. And coming down to the last 30 seconds of this map, Rens have a massive feat to pull off here if they want to walk away with this round.
Not quite the map, but maybe the end of the heading into what could be the penultimate round. We'll have to see. They could even equalise off the back of this. Angry will fall. Soy is just locking it down. Spots it. Another one swings the other way around as Crips takes down Kotari as well. It's all coming apart. Meeps alone with a dream. Doesn't even have the diffuser. Actually, no, she does have the diffuser in hand, but the nitro cell's there. Time for Pie. Hits it from below. What a slot through the floor. And just no chance for the Wrens. Quacked march on to map point. They're looking to close it out here. One more round is all they need. The Wrens seem to be floundering.
Well, as you said, it definitely was a bed war there coming out at the end. Holding it down from behind the bunk, Soy managed to close out two of the members entering into the side there from Wrens and putting her team up on match point. Obviously is going to be more favourable than losing said round. Wrens are definitely now going to be scratching to claw something back away from Quack to at least take it to OT, but they have to win two flawless rounds essentially to at least get them there in the first place. The Flores will be 6-picked back into the main roster now here for Wrens, and that bottom floor bomb site is where Flores is arguably most useful. So we're going to see if Wrens can put that to good use and clear out Quack.
Exactly it. And they have the smoke once again, so we probably will be seeing that elbow extension. Yeah, where my Jaeger as well, plus the Aruni. This is a scary setup. There's a lot of utility that will need to be cleared. Luckily, on the part of Wrens, they do have it. They've got the Argus cam should they need to clear it out. They've got a couple of frag grenades. They've got drones as well should they need to burn those Surya gates. But it's still a pretty formidable setup nonetheless. You almost want to mute jammer though a little bit closer. I wouldn't be surprised if we see time play yet. Just tuck it into the corner, deny the chance of Rotera getting in. But there's still ways to look at that. They are just doubling down on this bunker door. They do not want to let those Roteras in.
Remember, girls, no RCXDs. All the utility placed towards, well, not all, at least half of its own utility has been placed towards that bunker door, and we already see it coming into effect. The regular drone's been sort of shut down. A misflash there, I believe, from Angry Wolf is going to cause her to see nothing but white for a few seconds here. Qatari opening up the door to try and spot out this utility. We'll be able to Z-ping out that mute jammer here, though, for Qatari to possibly try and clear, but I don't think it's going to be smart for Wrens to send Qatari in first, being the only hard breacher that they have, especially with the bunker hold that Quack are looking to sort of pull off here with a lot of utility base towards that area. Sporky has made her way in, however, to the main lobby, now being live drone towards kitchen as well as meeting. We'll see this door here. The drone's going to spot out AJ, tries to put some wire down, but has to fall back before doing so. Will escape with her life. Ultimately, no drones were harmed in the making of that sequence, but she has got that top freezer control now for the team, and the rest of the Wrens are still struggling to deal with this double view jammer set up here from Quack.
Looks like, yeah, no, it's still there. They're not going to be able to clear it out just yet. Diana swinging onto the door. And, oh, no. That is soul crushing for the Wrens. The Surya gate just opens up again in front of their eyes. I have to say, though, I was unsure about AJ. I've heard of pocket nitros, pocket artillerclaws, pocket shields even. Not the pocket barbed wire, but the kill is found by Burner, who's marching on in. Diana finds Qatari, though, which is their sole hard breach at this stage, which means things are infinitely harder. Time for Pie going to be tagged, or taking down Burner Bear, who was marching through Freezer. Sporky now picks up the mantle. Meeps does get the trade back onto Diana, bringing it back to the 3-3. Time for Pie spots the back of Meeps, sprays with the SMG-11. She's in danger. Does she know it? That's the question. Sporky's there, spots it, but Time for Pie again with the SMG-11. Finds the... No, it's not even the down. It was Crips to find it. Meeps gets the trade back. It's all pretty hectic. There's so many guns that are similar here in the remainder of this run. In fact, 2 SMG-11s in play. Crips with the shotgun, ready to go. Soy with the MP5 just drifts around the corner. And Quacks keep their undefeated run going here in round 7, looking to carry it on into their second matchup of the night. But unfortunately, that is us done with them. 7-4, a big victory to be picking up there.
What can I say? They are Quacked, finishing things out over Wrens there. They've done very, very well picking up the victory. Obviously, Time for Pie
17-7.
Huge for her team. a 2.0 plus KD there for her at the end. A big 7-4 victory in their favor as well. If I was Quacked, I would be very, very happy with the performance we saw on Oregon. Almost executed flawlessly. Rens did manage to get away with some early rounds on the board, but ultimately Quacked pulled out and prevailed in the end.
Look, let's be honest, if you weren't Quacked, you would have been B stream tonight, but you made it all the way through. We're A stream, and we got to witness Quacked. Oh, look, they go down 4-2 at the half. They then bring it back, do not drop a single round, winning 5 in a row to close out Oregon, take it for themselves. I dare say that's probably the most defender-sided we are going to see things in a while. It's been more attacker-sided at the moment with the current state of the game. But that is how the cookie does tend to crumble, especially in the Women's League. Quack keep their undefeated run together. They aren't going to drop a map just yet, which means we will have to wait until next round to see if that happens. We do have a break coming up. After that, we'll take a deeper dive into the map, and from there, we'll get ready to go into match 2.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
Send your podcast to the great point. Send your podcast to the great point. Hey, put you in your place, look. Leave your thoughts on the floor like Facebook. Yeah, got them from great boy. Send your podcast to the great point. Hey, put you in your place, look. Leave your thoughts on the floor like Facebook. Yeah, got them from great boy. Send your podcast to the 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 great. Hey, hey, yo, yo. Send your podcast to the great boy. Hey, put you in your place, look. Leave your thoughts on the floor like Facebook. Yo, got that from great boy. Send your podcast to the great boy. Hey, put you in your place, look. Leave your thoughts on the floor like Facebook. Yo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming in to the second half of the evening, round 8, about to get underway. Prior, we just got to witness Quack hold on to their first place seeding, taking out the victory against the Wrens, dropping 4-2 in the first half, and then winning 5 rounds straight to bounce back and take the win. What a way to do it.
Yeah, they definitely came out pretty strong on their attacking half. I mean, well, the defending half as well. They did well all round. They managed to pull around away rounds that ultimately were going in favor of Rens, and then they just swept them away. They did really well finding really good picks, and ultimately a very good game all round. Moving on to number 2 now, though.
Yeah, round 1. Well, round 7 technically done for the evening, and well, it makes things even more interesting. Coming into round 8, definitely could change the way things go. We're still waiting on the results from Grumpy Grapes and Fallen Angels, who are currently playing on Villa at the moment. So hopefully they'll have that one finished soon. But yeah, 2 big wins on the night. Viking Army picking up the 7-1 versus Silex. Skyfire picking up the 7-0 versus the Radical Rebels. Now going into round 8 of the competition. Round 2 of the evening. Rens versus Viking Army. Rens could, in theory, find themselves 0-2 in the evening. And if Viking Army pick up the 2 wins here, they could push on towards top 4.
Look, they're looking to get back to where they were at the start of this season. They definitely need to take these games tonight. They've already managed to pull away their first victory, but with the Rens hot on Quack's heel coming off a game like that, Viking Army are definitely going to have their work cut out for them going into this second match here.
Yeah, definitely going to be proving an interesting one. And well, round 1 saw us taken to Oregon, the standard in the competitive map pool. Coming into round 2, it could be a different story. We won't know. We'll have to head into the map band. And there you go, Chalet Villa band out first. Oregon get taken out as the third band. So totally stoked with that one. Not going to be hitting there again. Consulate Cafe Clubhouse, which takes us to sunny Ibiza as we head to Coastline here. The first Coastline we've seen in a wee while here in the Women's League.
Coastline is an interesting map to see, as you said. Not one we see. We see a lot. And
well,
when I say a lot,
I got to see it played 3 times last week, but it's a different story. We won't talk about
different
that.
story. We won't elaborate. Oregon is a map that we see pretty much every week here on the A stream, and a little bit upset. We are going to go over the flyover now, though, to check out Coastline. Not going to be Oregon. Thankfully for mine and Panda's sanity, we are going to have a bit of a switch up here. A lovely sunny Coastline for this matchup, Rens versus VA.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's a map that also has seen some play around the Flores. Definitely some more positioning that could come into that one. But here we go, kicking things off. Viking Armies will be taking the defensive side of things. Rens on the attack. Last time, obviously, it was Rens kicking things off on the defense. Their attack was their weaker side. They lost all 5 rounds that they played in it. Viking Army take the Blackbeard out off the board very, very early on. Interesting.
Blackbeard on Coastline has typically been one of those scary type of operators, especially with all the window play that is available. When Blackbeard is played, Jackal being banned out here as well. When you see that Blackbeard paired with, say, a Nomad, supporting operators as such, it can be very, very hard to hold on to positions when you do have that bulletproof shield sort of holding down those areas. Gone getting a little bit deep in the all chat there.
Yikes.
Feels bad, man. Sad moment.
Boy.
Valkyrie, though, another normal band that we see on Coastline, and ultimately,
oh no,
one of
Cortari,
men
please
wanting
don't.
to get haircuts,
Oh no,
a barbecue, nice. Okay,
she is all in on the dad jokes.
I did know that my dad was invited to this game. But he's here, and he's making his jokes nonetheless. Mira, again, not going to be played. Another double Spaniard ban here across the board, as well as a double, I'm not too sure of the faction, but Blackbeard and Valkyrie both being
Navy
the same.
Seal.
Navy Seal,
yeah.
Going to be taken off the board. So a 2 for 2 here.
Please, Cortari.
Spare us.
What is it? I've just applied for a job in a salad packing factory. The hours are terrible, but apparently the salary is... Can we please take first round off the Rens? They lose that one by default. I'm sorry.
Penalty round. Oh, no. That's
like, it would not be a Rens match if it wasn't Cortari or chat. Yeah, look, it's the mental game. They are playing for the mental advantage. Throw Viking Army off, and it seems that success has already been found in mental warfare.
Oh, look, psychological warfare is something that Qatari should do a major in because she's definitely getting pretty good at it. SSD
Attackers
apparently
need to
from
locate
Core
and
Vice.
defuse
The
as many
shade
bombs as
coming
they
out
can.
now. It was all fun and games, but here we are. It's starting to turn vicious. Our first round on Coastline here is going to be kicking off inside of the, the double, bar and obviously hookah.
Actually,
I
that's
forgot
the
the
billions
site.
room. Are
Billions
you
and
all right?
hookah.
This
I
is
forgot
how
the
long
site.
it's been since you've
Yeah.
casted a coastline
It's been
match.
that long. It's all just been Oregon, but we're here nonetheless. The bomb site has been found.
Proto
Proto's
wins
got
Bed
the-
Wars, but he
Yeah.
has no idea what's going on. Maybe
Yeah.
we shouldn't have let you win. Maybe I
Yeah.
should have subbed you out for a
5 seconds
different
remaining.
partner. But either way, look, we're coming in. It's Hookah Billions. Ironically enough, the most
Attackers'
played bomb
objective
site
is to
on this
locate a
map,
bomb
and you
and
still
defuse it.
forget it.
Yeah.
But oh no, oh no. Look, Cortari, we get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. All right, play the game. Stop tormenting us with these terrible dad jokes.
This is why my brain no working. I'm focusing
Cortari
on the
also
dad
playing
jokes.
the AR-15 on Maverick
Yeah,
as well.
Maverick. Oh, I mean, right now, we're off to an interesting start on Coastline. A rarity, albeit we are still there. Sporky going to be looking for his early VIP control here for the Wrens, trying to make their way in Qatari with, obviously, the
located by
Maverick
attackers.
tools going to be opening up that wall. Unless Sporky can use her hard breach tool on an actual hard wall and open that angle up this time to provide some sort of knowledge, but the nade from above isn't going to take down
no.
Gon. Could be on for the double here to come through. Gon's going to get away, and the nade isn't going to connect if it follows through the drone hole. But no, Qatari has backed off. Probably gone to right.
We saw her for a
dad
second
jokes.
cooking the nade. We jumped back and she's gone.
She's left. She's happy with the down. And,
She
she's
almost
gonna
flicked
back
onto
off.
Sporky there. That would have been rough. Losing your zero, losing your flank watch, but I mean they're making some decent time. They're getting themselves in. They are circumventing things. It looks like they're looping around through luggage towards Aqua potentially. Want to get that control and push in from there, especially given the changes to smoke propagation. Even if there is no smoke on the board, it makes it that much easier to get the plant off. You can no longer glitch the smoke through the walls and deny that plant positioning. But you can see a little bit shaken there for the Viking army already.
I mean, with Gon taking that much damage to start with from the nade, it's going to be putting
Attackers
Wrens
dropped the bomb
in
diffuser.
the health benefit to start off with,
Attackers
as
recovered
you've
the bomb
just
diffuser.
mentioned. No smoke in play, but even with that new propagation, that means that Wrens definitely do have an easier take here into the Aqua side of the bomb site. The slow peak round here could cost Try her life if Sporky tries to pick up this kill. Indeed, no! Try wins out with the MP5 and collects the head of Sporky with M. Similarly, finding one onto Qatari, but Meeps to find one on the weird one to refrag, or at least keep things even. A very quick flurry of kills and only 30 seconds left here for Wrens to work with. 2 low Viking army players left to find.
It's going to kick off momentarily. Logic bomb and the swing on a Triceratops. Bernabet hits the first shot and then looks on to follow. Angry Wolf finds Gon, finishing that frag off before falling herself to 4 beats. It's just quick trades back and forth. M downstairs, playing on the egg of the 416, contesting that long corridor towards the main lobby. Court Vice as well, watching the flank. Bernabet has marched on in, picked up the diffuser. Meeps is going to go down to M as the plant is underway. Bernabet seconds left. Got to swing in. Bernabet, no! Almost had the chance to pull out the gun and shut down Core Vice, who overswung the angle. But it is going to be Viking Army to pick it up, and the spin to win is all you need there. Viking Army just snatching that away. Also, fun note, I have the B stream open on my secondary monitor. Crescent just picked up a big ace on Villa to keep them within 1 round of going to overtime. That match, Fallen Angels versus Grumpy Grapes, is in round 12 right now.
She's going the full 9 yards in that B stream game. If you haven't already, make sure you get up both for all of the action you can possibly get. But right now on the A stream, VA looking good going into their first round, picking up the, well, obviously first round over Wrens. Couldn't quite get it on the board for themselves, but Sporky's going to be going back onto that Flores here for map number 2 of the Wrens tonight. Core Vice sort of teased a 6-pick, but ultimately not
Attackers
enough
need to
time. And
locate
Frost
and defuse
will
as
still
many
be
bombs
being
as they
bought
can.
here by Core Vice. And going to be going down to kitchen service here. Didn't get the bomb site wrong
Oh,
this
boy.
time, but
Kotari, she is one for the weird and wonderful. She will pick off meta if it suits her, and she is doing just that here on Coastline. Not that, I mean, look, it's not that it's crazy out of the realms of possibility that it works. Actually, Fuse works reasonably well, especially on this bomb site, especially on this map. You can get away with it. But look, the AR-15, it didn't do too much last round. I'm hesitant to see what is brought. Is it going to be the MG? Is it going to be the AK? Are we going to see Shield come out for Cortari? I honestly could not tell you. It's okay. It's AK. So there's a more serious Fuse coming through.
the Slay K12, as some refer to it, an absolutely monstrous rifle in the right hands, and we did see Qatari bringing it on the ace in our last matchup, so already warmed up, ready to go. We will see Weird One just playing outside of the bomb site, will manage to get that Mozzie drone back in from underneath the door, trying to get the Pest to go outside to get rid of some utility there, but ultimately it's clutched back by the Mozzie and will now be repositioned for her personal use, with Sporky sending in the first Rotiro here to clear out the shield. Not much that Core Vice can do in that position. Triceratops is on the mute, so it's interesting to see that those shields hadn't been muted in sort of the position that they were in, holding that spot. But Weird One's going to start things off. One on Qatari. Meeps will find Core Vice on the rotate in the bathroom, however, though. So a 1-for-1 here in both teams' ways. Buck now starting to open up that floor. Angry Wolf will be getting the vertical control here for the Rens. Viking Army will spot out one on the top floor. Weird One, some shots through the wall. Not too much damage dealt, however, though, to Angry Wolf. M unlikely taking some damage on the site, and actually going down from outside service. Could be confirmed with a Rotiro here if it's sent through the drone hole.
Sporky AR-33 in hand. Angry Wolf above might even be able to find a coverage should she look for it. But players threatening Weird One and gone on the hunt. Weird One's going to go for the long rotate all the way through theater. But the ping's coming out. They know. They absolutely know that Weird One is on the hunt here. Gone, finds the kill on a Sporky, swinging back in and getting that frag. I believe that was a contest, yeah, probably towards pool entrance of all things. Burnaby going to open up that wall towards top white. They have an idea. They no longer have the dedicated information. Now they do. The ping's coming out, so they know Weird One is here. I don't know where the information's coming from, but they know. Gone for a second. Takes down Angry Wolf, who was playing above. Weird One just holding down the fort. M got picked up as well. Gone. Playing this pseudo-roaming Maestro of all things and finding these big frags. Leaves just Meeps and Burnabear with the diffuser to try and find it. Burnabear obviously got it down last round, but couldn't pull out the gun quick enough to get the frag. This, again, could come down to some desperation.
It's going to have to be a big round both ways, but Meeps will find Gone on the prone there through the feet holes. Burnabear will be getting the bomb down here with M on the Echo, yet to deny. Has to change the drone, but bomb is going to go down, and Meeps is going to collect the head of M for a triple on for the ace here. Needs to find Weird One and Triceratops here to find all 5, but proning on the floor, trying to hold from the bathroom push. Could collect one onto Weird One here, coming down the hall if she flanks all the way round, which indeed she is. Could be spotted out by Sledge momentarily, will indeed lit up but not taken out, and Weird One with the swings going to find Meeps with the headshot. It's all up to Burnabear, taking a lot of damage, dealing a lot herself though onto Triceratops, and it's all up to Weird One. Very low HP, 13 seconds left, has to go for the defuse, only has 3 seconds, will be able to get on and tap, but it's too far gone now, even picking up the frag. She's not going to be able to pull it off, and Rens, by the skin of their teeth, find a round of their own.
Attackers win.
Sedge, big Sedge. Unfortunately, you weren't able to make it work, despite the best efforts, and they do drop the round, but Viking Army, you've got to feel a little bit confident that you are still able to bring it back, despite losing out the way that you did. Meeps had a phenomenal round, found some big frags, but Gone as well was a real tour de force when it came to this roving maestro that we saw out of her. They're going to double down. They're going to head back to kitchen once again. M hovering the Ella this time, rather than we don't see the Frost coming through.
It's an interesting pick, but the Frost didn't necessarily have as much impact in terms of mat ability there. We didn't see anyone sort of get picked up by those frost mats, but Qatari will be bringing that fuse back.
Defenders,
I'm not
protect
too
your
sure if any
bombs from
fuse
being
charges
defused
did
by
actually
attackers.
manage to go off that round downstairs, but fuse is a very good pick for Rens here to clear not only
located by
utility, but
attackers.
play in positioning as well. So a good pick from Qatari nonetheless here coming into this round, but Viking Army switching up the style a little bit. We do see M on more of that roam-oriented character. Obviously, Ella with the Scorpion, more long-range ability on that top floor, could be supporting Weird One upstairs. A lot of different things that Viking Army can be doing here, but Gon ultimately seems to be the biggest roaming force right now for VA with the Alder in hand. It's pretty scary when you come up against a roaming
5
Maestro.
seconds to go.
That's exactly it. And, well, obviously with the changes to recall and all the rest of it, the Scorpion is a hell of a gun at the moment. Definitely the preferred weapon over the FO12 at the moment. So interested to see what M can achieve with it here. Weird One going back to exactly where she was holding last round, playing around top white. Play on the rappel. That could be a cheeky jump out. But, I mean, look at the info that's already been found with these default cams. They are looking to shut them down early, looking to play a little bit more aggressively. And these Argus cams going to work here for Sporky on the side of the Rens as well. They know just how influential this info game is going to be, so they are on very much. They bring the logic bomb as well once again. I want to see Qatari find some ground with this fuse charge. They weren't able to find anything off the last round, shut down early by a Weird One who got that initial frag. So second time, hopefully, is the one.
If the fuse can get in here and start dropping cluster charges on the roof, VA definitely need to be scared when Qatari makes it into the building. She's very close, and here we go. The first cluster charge to come out. We'll start dropping those explosive pucks down in the site. We'll get that first shield here. Second one to come out now. A lot of chaos being caused. Gon running around. Not too sure where is even safe, but VA, a Weird One, will be able to pick up Sporky upstairs on her roam that has proven to be quite a bit influential for the Viking Army's defense, wasting a lot of time, ultimately coming back in and winning that clutch as well last round. Unfortunately not for the defuse, but very influential on that top floor position, now supported by M. We see Gon roaming around now over by security as well with the Alder. And it looks like Viking Army are going to be playing for that retake style on the kitchen bomb site as opposed to trying to lock it down, given that now Rens have that top floor control.
Quick update. Well, there's a bit of a lull. We finally have all our round one matches completed. Fallen Angels did take it out 7-5 at the end, going to 4 rounds of regulation. So now they're going to be heading into round 2. Like we are at the moment, these hockey pucks absolutely causing chaos on the bomb site. Unfortunately, no real ground found. Try is going to find Meeps through these vertical angles once again. You got to question who they're working for here at the moment. Viking Army definitely coming to prove that there was some minor mistakes made through rounds 3 and 4. They're looking to bounce back. Sarah is going to find the Nitro onto Angry Wolf as well. The dwindling players on the Rens side finding themselves in big trouble. Burner Bear and Qatari, 2 phenomenal fraggers for this roster, could definitely do some damage, but I think they'd be hard-pressed to clutch out the 2v5.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, with only 15 seconds left, they're starting to get greedy, coming up the stairs to find kills. Corvice will be punished for it, getting a little bit aggressive there towards the end. But Bernavere's going to pull out the SMG, send it right through the door, taken out swiftly by Triceratops. Qatari finds one. Time ticks away, and the defenders hold fast for another round in their favor.
Sarah having a phenomenal round, almost single-handedly chipping away the majority of the numbers out of that Rens roster attack. And, well, they win it, they take it. They're going to be heading straight to Hookah Billiards once again. Sorry, Bar and Hookah, depending on who you ask.
Bar and Hookah.
But there is a bar up there, so I can understand where you are coming from. But you can definitely feel Ren's not quite sure where to head with this. Qatari has rotated through the Maverick, through the Fuse, and now into the Lion. It definitely feels like they're a little bit lost.
Yeah, they do look really, really lost in terms of their operator selections. I mean, Qatari has really just been flicking through the playbook here, trying to find something that works against Viking Army. I mean, with Gon doing such abnormal roams with Maestro and it paying off, you know, M upstairs as well, causing issues. Weird One, especially on that Mozzie roam. They really are doing well shutting down the Rens here and causing them a lot of sort of time issues coming towards the late rounds, and then ultimately just capitalizing on the gunfights. They don't have that much control. They have to funnel through doors, and what's happening? Viking Army are picking up free kills. Kurtari, however, though, now switching onto that Lion, is a very good operator to bring on a map like Coastline, due to the fact that there aren't too many places to rotate out of, say for a roam presence, that being either Weird One, maybe M. If they can lock down these roamers and use the EE1Ds efficiently, we could definitely see Rens walk away with more dominant rounds here if they can clear this roam game out using the Lion.
Definitely DMR season here for Qatari. She likes the DMRs when the option is available to her. Upside down repel onto top white. Coming out of Angry Wolf. Now picking up the Nomad rather than the Buck, but opts to head straight to the roof instead. Looking to cover the angles, looking to set themselves up. No Dockerby either. IQ in the hands of Burnabear, so they are looking to deal with some of this information gathering potential, this utility that is going to be available. Not to mention Gone playing on the pulse, and Meeps kicks things off. M found. Absolutely dealt with from that penthouse position. Pings coming out indicate that maybe there is some more presence, but it is not the case. We can see that they can't. Corvice again being tagged up just a little bit here in the round. Will retreat back downstairs for the moment. A lot of early aggression paying out for the Rens right now.
A lot of early aggression indeed, and still yet to see that EE1D used by Kotari here. The DMR obviously in hand, but no utility just yet used by Lion. And here we are, the first EE1D to come out. Will get the spots. Gone from below with the cardiac sensor. Could be on. Find the C4 here through the floor. No C4 left. It's going to have to spray. No damage dealt. Corvice is going to pick up Angry Wolf off screen for a big frag of her own. With low HP, picking up the soft destruction here. Or, well, not the soft destruction, sorry. The flank watch for the attackers. It's a pretty big frag to find yourself with a minute left. It's going to allow, there you go, that C4 and that aggression to come out back onto that top floor. Second EE1D to come out for you from Qatari to try and stop the refrag potential. But Burnabear, so far up, is going to catch a Legion Mine in the face from Corvice. And they only have a minute left to work with here, and not in much bonk exactly. Not much time left for them to really execute.
We'll spray in. Meeps again. Just hitting those headshots crisply. Takes them down. Go on and puts it back into a 3 versus 3. Bernabet picks up the diffuser. They have solid control. They can look to push in and get themselves into that site potentially. But a lot of threat. Weird One just tucked into Hook. It hasn't opened up some of these traditional long angles. Frag grenade. One is used, eaten by the ADS. Possibly could have gone for the second there if they teamed up. Punch hole down. Try. No, she's tunnel visioning. Can she find it? Meeps swings in, finds one. They line up almost secured there. As Sarah does get a kill onto Meeps. Default plant secured. Qatari back to the punch hole now. That spray could have been devastating for her. Tagged up even further. Corvice just walking on into the side. Looking for the crossfire. You spotted her. She's right there. What? How? How in the world has that happened? Big tunnel visioning coming through. Qatari in the 1v2 post plant. Swings in, finds one. Can she find the second? Getting swing on. She wins it. She just takes it away handily. Rens take round 4 after a very confusing post plant.
That round was as confusing as I was on the first round in terms of the bomb site. They've managed to pull away with the bar hookah victory, but what? I'm baffled. Corvice missed that IQ. It was a shame, really, but very good attempt still from VA, even after.
My lord,
not
that
seeing
I
what
feel
happened.
that. I figure it out with my fingers, but that is a mood. I have that some days. The last couple of days, it's been so cold. I genuinely don't know where my hands are on the keyboard some days.
But yeah, big round for VA. Almost a clutch, but Rens managed to pull it back to even things out 2-2.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Teabag would have been way faster. All right, Qatari, calm your roll. Chill. It's fine. Yeah, okay, of course. Yeah, no, she just won the round as Lion. Why would you stick out the Lion again? It's going to be a Zofia instead. Maybe this is her process of warming up. She has to play at least 3 different operators before she can pick up the Zofia.
a levy
Bomb located
of
by
operators
attackers.
here in Cortari's bag of tricks. She's busting out all of the favorite picks tonight here for this Coastline game. Maybe she's just excited that she's not playing Oregon for once here on this matchup. But VA definitely looking pretty good here. And Ren's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. They managed to find themselves a couple rounds that they arguably needed to keep them in this game. And while Coastline is sometimes viewed as an attacker-sided map, right now the defense is really doing well at least holding on for the time being against the onslaught. And the roam game has been so good here from Viking Army that you wouldn't even really know that we were playing Coastline, other than the fact that we are indeed playing Coastline, if it wasn't explained to you.
Aside from the aesthetic, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't know, because it's so hard to roam on this map. With the open ceiling, and Gon's just going to take Qatari out. No Zofia play for her. Sporky's going to find Gon, though, on the instant refrag and make it double. All Vice falls as well. Could be on for 3. Some shots hitting the beam and ultimately won't connect. The player will be able to get away. Weird one escaping with her life for the moment. Not for long, though. Meep's there to cross and cut the flank. The nade the nade to cut it off, running out of ammo instead of switching out. We'll get the frag with the pistol. And the start of this round has just really been interesting, to say the least.
Isn't that like the standard tooltip? It's faster to pull out your secondary pistol than reload in a gunfight.
Yes, it is.
Oh no! Oh no!
Another one.
It's
Weird
just.
one.
I think the end of that last round has infected this one as well. It's just been not checking your corners, these mistakes being made. These girls, they play a very, very competent game of Siege, but it seems that on a map like Coastline, which you have to agree, it's less strategically driven. You don't have to go too deep into the strat book. It's all about the frags. They feel a bit let loose, and maybe, just maybe, they're getting a bit ahead of themselves.
A bit of overconfidence there. The mute multi combo doing some work. I would also like to say that on the new UI, we can see that Qatari and Sporky and Meeps are all sort of waiting for things to happen. They're all spectating
Apparently,
right now.
I have it on good authority that this isn't actually entirely accurate. It doesn't always represent what's going on. So it might look like okay. Oh no, the Pog Mat. Surely someone's heard that. The swinging. Oh no, Sarah still loses it. That could have been absolutely huge. And M in the wrong spot, coming in from behind. Stun grenade through the luggage. They can look to go for that plant right now, tucked in. Burnabear looking for the angle. Angry Wolf on the plant. Cam's going to give away the game. The default. Still up and up. Now, I would be surprised if the entirety Viking Army weren't watching M right now. No pressure or anything. But look at the health bars on the Rens. 2 very low players. M just has to find the first. It's going to have to be about the angles. Can she find it? No, she's rotating all the way around. She's playing the safe game, heading towards Pink Bar. Does anyone have any idea? Stun goes out. 1 more left for Angry. They have no idea that she's coming around this position. She can rotate through the shield as well. This is going to be absolutely huge. If she can line them up, could definitely upset the time. Very much taken away. She's got to hit these shots in the next few seconds or it's all over. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be able to pull it out of the bag here. Just playing it too cautiously, and Rens will be given their third.
Ultimately, the caution costing her the round. Well advised, but unfortunately not what was required there. A little bit of oomph going into the site and just sending it possibly would have been the play. But ultimately, 3-2 now in favour of Rens. A good post plant. The frost mat there almost coming in big for VA, but ultimately the res was made. The frags were not secured, and they walked away with the round. Viking Army now, though, going to be going back to kitchen service. No fuse just yet for Qatari. Could see her pick a completely different operator, but it looks like she wants to have another go at Zofia because she didn't exactly get to give it a crack last time. A 6 prick from Core Vice onto the Alibi, and Sporky bringing back the Flores. An interesting lineup of operators so far.
Interesting has very much been the defining factor in the second map of the night here on the main stream. Gone picking up that Maestro is definitely going to be a real powerhouse to watch. We saw it last round. They were here on Kitchen, rotating through, finding a number of kills off-site, which is not necessarily where you expect those kills to be found for a Maestro player, but I mean, this bomb site has not been the greatest for the Viking army so far. So hopefully changes come through. Maybe even, you know, the change up and picks the Mute Mozzie combo plus that Kaid. Not quite sure where the Kaid is going to be prioritized. But yeah, it looks like, yeah, the main lobby and storage wall is the call that has been made. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some upstairs presence without one of those calls as well. No, M's just got it in pocket. Never mind, I'm wrong.
Attackers are moving to
Here we go. I mean, some interesting stats brought to our attention here by our lovely observer. Kitchen is the only winning site for VA currently, as opposed to the only winning site for Rens being Hookah. Interesting turn of events, really. Both teams having a site that they're very proficient in, and Kitchen, as we've already seen, Viking Army seems to be very good at, and Rens very good at taking Hookah. Little interesting tidbit there for you. A little bit of damage dealt to Corvice early on, and a Rotira drone.
Which also seems to be the case. Corvice taking a little bit of damage to kick the round off.
Yes, well, I mean, damage dealt at the start of the round downstairs, but either way, Rotira drone did look like it wanted to come in there. Indeed, it looks like Sporky's trying to get it off inside of service to get rid of this Maestro camera without getting destroyed. The drifts on the bench. Could have probably exploded it from there and got it within the radius. I think that is going to be the idea. Here we go. Going to explode and most likely deal with that Maestro camera. Indeed, it will. Interesting utility usage here so far for the attackers.
Hey, look, they got one of those Evil Eye cams down. They could probably look for some sort of coverage. Unfortunately, no smokes to make it happen. As another Rotira drone goes deeper into storage. Flush has gone out. But I mean, one cam off the ball. Corvice just getting tagged up further, but it's actually Meeps to swing in to find that kill in the end. Getting control of main lobby, Burnabear position top white. Can maybe even swing on down as they look to team up, get themselves into main lobby, and look to push on towards the bomb site. M just playing these tight angles. In fact, the rest of Viking Army as well. They're looking to play these tight angles, looking to give themselves the advantages they can. Regular drone out of Sporky this time. Is going to spot the header one behind the chassis. Spot's gone, playing that bathroom doorway as well. Yellow ping's coming out. Is it going to be the vertical contest? And yeah, Kortari playing from above, looking to find the shots. Goes for the impact out of the lifeline. Looking to flush the player out from behind the bomb chassis as well. Spots M, takes the head. Meek swings in and finds gone as well. They're going to open up the angles, open up the opportunities to go for a plant potential here. Weird one. Very much isolated, but Triceratops again playing this position, locks one down, only needs to team up to find four more, but gets shot out at the ankles. Weird one picks up the mantle, and we'll get Angry Wolf and the diffuser here. This could be huge.
She can hold on to it for the remainder of the round. This is definitely going to be big for Viking Army. We'll get the Z pings and the red pings. Burnabear swing on through with the G3 in hand, finishes things off, and Rens going to walk away with a 4-2 in their favour. Switching over onto the defence now, though, is going to be where things turn around, possibly for Viking Army here.
Something that could be a little bit concerning. If you do recall, last match we had Quacked versus Rens. Rens take the first half 4-2 and then drop 5 rounds in a row. We are in that same position going into the second half, and I think that would be soul-crushing if somehow, out of nowhere, we saw Viking Army pick up 4 rounds in a row to bring it back and get the win. But forget what I'm saying. I'm seeing something else. Corvice bringing the Kali as we look to attack Hookah Billiards.
It's going to be a Ruins gaming session here for Corvice, holding things down, I'd imagine, on the long angle with that sniper rifle. But going to see how she chooses to use it. A Twitch, interestingly, being bought by M out of all operators available in the lineup. And Rens finally seeing our first vigil here on Coastline, and a pretty good standard roam operator, especially with that ERC7. Very good to shut down that drone utility. Even Lion. Usually, if you see Lion sort of being played on a map like this, you'll either see Vigil Band or Lion Band, one of the two. But either way, Sporky on that Vigil, going to be looking to deal a little bit of damage early on. Hopefully find herself a kill, maybe even a couple, or at least waste a fair amount of time downstairs in the office here. But Viking Army do have the ability to clear her out if they play it properly. It's going to come down to the drone usage here for the attackers.
That's definitely the case, Vice. Yeah, no surprises whatsoever. Looking to head straight onto Ruins, get the angles opened up, start to contest. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, just a bit of a hiccup. Hopefully that's not the way this round plays out. Already, we start to see good droning, good positioning. A player on the run out. Don't know who that was. Maybe even looked like it could have been. No, it wouldn't have been Bernabet. No, that's totally wrong. Yeah, probably Cortari. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Cortari. That's definitely something she would do.
It's a very aggressive play style here from the roaming Wamai, but can't quite find the head of Cool Vice. Left and riding on the window, waiting for an opportunity to bloom itself in her wake, but not just yet. Can't quite find the head of anyone running around, getting too friendly with the windows. Weird One now does have control downstairs. They do still have Kotari behind them, though, inside of Blue Bar. Unbeknownst to the attackers, she is still lurking close by. Could be causing an issue sometime soon here in the future. We also did see one player over towards the east side, and he's going to be Sporky on that vigil coming through to support. Some shots through the wall here towards Weird One are going to give away the position of Kotari, but no frags either way just yet. M will take a considerable amount of damage, however, downstairs. Sporky will be downed, actually, and possibly finished off here if M/Weird One can confirm this kill. And there you go. Weird One will confirm the first frag going in favour of Viking Army, and the second with Gon finding Mix.
Big frags, losing out on your Legion and your Vigil. Not at all something you want, but Viking Army, they're very much stacked up at the moment. We'll have to clear it on through. Air jab, heavy position on this hookah doorway can make things very, very difficult in terms of that retake. Not to compound losses on top of the numbers anyway. Bernabet still playing this rotate from Cool Vibes stairs. Could find herself pinched in on momentarily. M position there. Weird One going to be the one to charge on through, but it's shot in the back by Kotari, who has not been flushed out, not been drone whatsoever. Still looking to hold things down with absolutely no contest. 30 seconds left on the clock. It might just have to be a funnel on through hookah at the moment. Bernabet falls, the player on the rotate at Cool Vibes dealt with. Angulf looking to cover the rotate, but they flood onto the site. Air jab to cover the cross. And Cool Vibes taking control of Cool Vibes stairs. Cortari finally dealt with. M connects the shots. Angulf finishes Cool Vibes with a top to the head. Unfortunately, the SVSMG9, it's great and all, but not in those situations. Nitrocell tossed towards the door. But it feels like a case of too little, too late. Position picked up. M going to be watching the Cool Vibes cross. They have the post plant gone outside on the hookah balcony, and Sarah on the job in the site, looking to lock things down. I think this is a case of all but done.
I'm honestly surprised she's managed to stay alive. There you go, finally removed. As long as she had there in that round, she definitely played the position there against the wall that she sort of had left for cover, but the angles being held by VA were ultimately very, very good post-plant spots for them to be in, allowing them to clean up the remainder of that round. Ren's definitely sort of struggling there to lock down those roam positions. It seemed VA did really well clearing them out. They had some drone knowledge. Ultimately, Kotari ended up not being droned and causing a bit of an issue downstairs, but was quickly dispatched by the downstairs player. Ultimately, Ren's had a good sort of set up going into the latter part of that round, but it was picked apart very, very methodically by VA and ultimately netted them another round. Could this be another quack situation?
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Kotari's done with being a people pleaser apparently.
Oh, please tell me this isn't going to be another joke. Okay, no, okay, cool. I thought it was going to be another dad joke, and she was going to come out with something else. Cool Vibes. You would never. She's bringing out the FMG9 smoke here on Cool Vibes. Apparently, it's all over. This is where the flick gets switched. Cortari is no longer taking prisoners and is looking to solo carry this match throughout the remainder of Coastline. The rest of the girls on the Wrens, they're going to be setting themselves up, and then they're going to go chill in theatre, watch a movie, while Cortari looks to solo defend this bomb site. The setup, it's coming through. It's done. All but done. They're just perfecting the rotate hole between the two bomb sites. As you can see, one player, it was Sporky supervising there in that situation. Gone! Tagged early! Cortari with a cheeky peeky with that FMG9. Guns down the flank watch of Viking Army.
Finished being a people pleaser. That she definitely was. dealing with gone. Very well, that's what she is. She's gone now for the remainder of this round. Cortari doing very well to pick up that frag early on. It's going to allow Rens to really sort of roam a lot more uncontested. Corvice making sure that the Lance is going to take out. Oh, and Cortari again. Finished being a people pleaser. Finds the second onto the Carly inside of the ruins. She's definitely had enough, and you are correct. The switch was flicked. She's come alive now in the second half, and Weird One has just spotted out Sporky on the flank. This could end badly for Legion.
Cortari says, nice gun. Here's mine. Takes down the long-range threat that is Corvice. I mean, Carly, her lore is that she was the craziest, sniper in the Indian army. That's why she sort of departed and did her own thing. Now, though, Cortari is the one to answer back with this phenomenal smoke play. Sporky wins that gunfight against M in the end. T5 versus the F2, and obviously 5 is bigger than 2, so no doubt that should win. But look at that. The positioning of the diffuser is not favourable at all for the Viking army. This round has been absolutely tossed and turned.
I mean, even with Sporky just close by here, the Legion mines are going to provide a lot of valuable information for the defenders. Playing for her life now to try and hold on to this diffuser for as long as she can. VA need to make something of a miracle happen here. They do have Sporky on quite low HP, but with Cortari finding 3 for the round, finally coming alive.
She's hunting for a 4th.
She wants the 4th on the roaming smoke here. Just making sure that no one can get that diffuser in the last 50 seconds. Just really holding on to it. Weird One is going to take away the possibility of a flawless round here, though, by removing Burner Bear. She still has Sporky and the hungry Cortari to deal with. I'd be quite scared if I had Cortari on the FMG9 coming towards me, because with 3 already to her name, Angry Wolf is going to shut it down, though, and not allow Cortari to continue her bloodlust. And Rens find the 5th.
They are looking to get themselves at least the 1 win on the board and deny Viking army a chance at bouncing back. Well, it's definitely, I don't know if it's blood in the water. Cortari is just, it's no longer, this is no longer a game, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Whatever the case, she's been on an absolute test. Spawn Peak onto, God, I'm writing a book about reverse psychology. Oh no, she's back on the bad jokes. Jeepers. She's looking to add salt to the wound.
I mean, there's one other player that does this really, really well in competitive Siege. Just sort of little things here and there, and that is going to be Kazro from the old KGM roster. He's very similar in his sort of playful Rainbow Six style, but Cortari ultimately really topping the cake here with these dad jokes. They're good. And aside from that, she's getting kills as well. 9 and 4. Similar to what Meeks is running herself. 9 and 6. Big frags across the board. For Rens here, Cortari with that FMG9 though is definitely hunting for more. She wants to add to the tally that she's already collected for herself, and with that FMG in hand, looks to find these big kills. But if we look at the lineup of Viking army, we see some very scary operators. M on the Monty, Corvice on the Ying, and Weird One bringing out the Finker LMG, locked and loaded to take on Kitchen here, possibly, most likely, for a service plant.
Finker, Monty, Ying Rush. Oh, this is going to be absolutely brutal. You can see them gearing themselves up for the push. Cortari is going to have to reposition herself because there is no way that she can throw those toxic canisters from where she is right now. That wall is not soft at all. Well, actually, it is soft, sorry. It's not open at all whatsoever. There's a player above as well. Look at that. Cheeky angles all around. Do they know? They have some idea, surely, that Burner Bear is up here. Just playing this angle. I mean, this is a great spot, especially for a Rooney, because you can punch out that window and jump out without having to continuously bash away at the barricade. But the utility has to come in soon. Look at them. They're just gearing up. They're waiting for the call. Come on, surely it has to come momentarily. Oh, there we go. Weird One finds the opener onto Bernabear. That's the vertical angle that was being contested, no longer under control of the Wrens. They lose out on that. This is where things start to derail a little bit. There we go. The wall opens, so Cortari can have an effect with these toxic canisters. But if they find a kill onto her, this is a free plant.
I mean, with obviously the Ying in play as well, it's going to get very difficult here with only the Jaeger being bought, only grabbing one of those sort of Candelas now with the change. Shades have been put on, and the first Candela has come out. Whether or not anyone is full blind, Maestro doesn't look like he really has a clue what's going on his cams. Corvice has made it in. Triceratops will be getting the bomb down, possibly behind the Monty, but Corvice taken out on the Ying by Meeps. Oh, a flurry of kills, Kotari, with 2 Sporky and Meeps to add to the fray as well. Pushing up close, it's all up to John. She's going to find Kotari, so no more kills for her, but the diffuser has magically been planted in a 3v1. Gon very quickly goes down. I imagined the toxic canister remnants left over, possibly through the door there, or maybe was found on a little bit of damage from one of the girls. But the defuse will be made by Angry and Rens. Match point now for themselves.
They're looking to get themselves at least one win here tonight as we head into the 10th round. Viking Army, they did look like maybe they could have bounced back. They've had a couple of very convincing rounds, but now back against the wall. I wonder just how close they can bring it. Can they get themselves a couple more, or will Rens shut it out here? Blue bar, the double bars being set up for the final battleground, or potentially the final battleground of the evening. Corvice sticking with this Monty. That's a bold call, knowing that Cortari is hard stuck on the smoke right now.
Well, there you go. 6 picked off, most likely going to be traded out for, there you go, the Lion that I was talking about earlier, with no Vigil being bought by the defense. It's a pretty good pick here for Viking Army to try and use going into this round. But the Frost ultimately there being bought by Angry Wolf to try and, I believe, combat within, obviously, the smoke being bought as well. Trying to combat that Monty play, but with no Monty now being bought, double bar is going to be where they reside for possibly the final matchup here in terms of the round count. Obviously, Rens on that match point. Viking Army need to win 3 to take us to OT here. And while it is 100% possible, Rens are definitely looking like they want to close it out. We've got Sporky on the roam. We've got a lot of denial utility for that plant. They're definitely setting up to close this out.
Sporky, pistol out, ready to go. Back to the P10 running with the extended barrel as well. Looking for the long-range threat there. But these frost mats could prove hugely detrimental to the push. Kotari, again, looking for the same angle through the same drone hole in bathroom. Last round found a drone, but no frags. Is looking for the other this time.
First EED to come out for the attackers, and not too much information really gained there by Corvice, possibly more to just sort of keep everyone in their relative position for the time being, but sort of inching close towards Cortari will be spotted. A little bit of damage dealt with the FMG there, but nothing too hectic that Corvice can't deal with. A bit of a finger boost to try and heal her up, and she's going to be sort of returned back to some remnant of the HP that she had, but moving on. Needs to get back to where the rest of her team is and make their way into the building. Sporky still on this roam, though, is going to be their first issue here. They have to drone her out and dedicate. Her position is on the top floor while finding her as a frag as well. But Kotari now coming upstairs to satisfy the rage and find some more kills with the FMG on the roaming smoke. It's interesting that we've got Rens playing such aggressive upstairs denial characters, leaving only Angry Wolf and the remaining Rens players upstairs. Will be spotting out the entry here, though, into Aqua, which is going to allow the girls on the top floor to now directly contest.
Sometimes that's all you need, and obviously with the new thinker changes, Corvice is getting permanent health off the nano boost. Unfortunately, Gorn isn't going to be getting any as Cortari finds the kill. Unfortunately for her, Box Mag is all you need. Hold down mouse 1, swing the angle. Exactly what happens. They lose Cortari on the backside of it, leaving it in a 4 versus 4 Sporky. Here's the air jab, is trying to spot it. Will be able to shoot it out so she can push on through luggage. But does Weird One know that this is coming her way? Ping's coming through, but it is downstairs. Weird One has an idea, spots the head, misses the shot, is going to go for the repeat with the mouse 1 held down. Sporky very much outnumbered there in terms of ammo available. Is going to probably pull back for the moment. Yeah, it's not worth taking a battle. P10 Roni versus the big box mag of Finker is a gunfight that's probably not going to go your way.
I believe that's actually the suppressor on Sporky, turning the P10 Roni into the P10 P shooter Roni. Ultimately, like 17 damage or something with the suppressor equipped. E1D to come out though, explosion onto the side. Angry Wolf will find Corvice prone on the floor. Sporky's going to add one though with the frag on the weird one on the flank. Will collect the Finker finally from their earlier altercation. It's all up to M and Triceratops to keep Viking Army in this, but with Triceratops going down to a frost mat, the swing is going to come out here from the Jaeger and Meeps to close things out. Wrens find themselves a victory after losing to Quacked. They managed to clean themselves up a game here against Viking Armies and walk away with a 7-3 victory.
There you go. They end the night 1-1 off the back of Kotari saying, well, look, she made the call early on in the map saying, this is my turn. I am going to be the one who shuts this one out. And she very much does. 12 and 6, 2.0 KD at the very end there. Viking Army, unfortunately, not able to get themselves another win off the back of it. And that's rough. That's very, very rough, but it is how the game goes some days. Coastline, a different map coming into the pool here. It's not one you see very often, one that's less strategically in-depth. You can go for the frag play more than anything. It's exactly what we saw. Kotari, 3 massive kills on that round where she decided to flick the switch. Gone, died immediately off of the spawn peak. Look, I mean, if that's what we're expecting when Kotari stops, playing the team game and plays for herself, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them rocket back towards the top of the leaderboard.
I mean, with Kotari on that smoke, the FMG, obviously, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Massive frags for the remainder of the game. The big double outside of service where she picked up both Monty and the Planter. I mean, it just continued on. Carly and Ruin, some absolutely monumental shots from her, really putting Wrens in the position to win that game ultimately. She did really, really well performance-wise tonight, and so did the entirety of the Wrens roster, as well as all the VA girls, but unfortunately, they couldn't quite keep up, and the Wrens really did well to pull away with that victory there.
That's exactly it. Big win for the Wrens, bouncing back after going down 7-4 against Quacked earlier on in the night. Maybe it was the case. Go for something less strategically intensive and play something more for the frags. And well, it definitely worked out for them. That does bring rounds 7 and 8 to an end here in Stage 5. And a couple of change-ups, a couple of mix-ups in the standings. We don't have all the matches complete, but I can tell you Skyfire won their second match of the night, 7-0 as well. So they did not drop a single round tonight. That's pretty huge, not going to lie. As we take a look back at the way things are gone, there you go. 2 of the 4 matches that were played in round 2 done. We're waiting on Quacked versus Grumpy Grapes and Fallen Angels versus Radical Rebels to see how that one plays out. Fallen Angels at the moment, I have the B stream up. They're currently 4-0 up on Oregon against the Radical Rebels, so that one should be done reasonably soon. No information on how Quack's doing, though.
Oh, look, I'd imagine that if their game isn't already 7-0 in favor of one of the teams, it's going to be going more sort of yard-wise like we saw in the Wrens Quack game, possibly already maybe a 4-4, something similar. But Quacked and Grumpy Grapes are definitely going to be duking it out right now, it seems, going into their second matchup for tonight retrospectively. But, I mean, some big games across the board tonight. Obviously, Viking Army, they're 7-1 tonight. Fortunately, couldn't win their second. But Skyfire with 2 big 7-0s, sort of cementing them really in that second spot for at least this week and possibly even the next week coming. We're going to see how everyone plays.
Well, it even presents a more interesting situation. I could be wrong, depending on how the second match, their second match against Grumpy Grapes goes, depending on whether or not they drop enough rounds or whether they lose. If they lose and drop enough rounds, I think Skyfire might just sneak under with the round differential, obviously with the head-to-head, so it just puts them that much closer going into the later stages of the season. This is really heating up here in Stage 5. We did talk, coming into Play Day 1, who we had our, pegged favourites as to who would take it, but Quack coming out of the gate, they're much stronger than we anticipated. They're sitting top of the table for a reason. Skyfire, having picked up a number of 7-0 victories this season, there are still a number of contenders that could make their way to top 4.
There's a lot of fights still to be had as well. A lot of teams still yet to make a name for themselves coming up. The top 4 is still volatile, can obviously change very, very quickly, but games are still yet to be played, and I'm very, very excited to see how all of them turn out in the coming weeks here of the Women's League.
Well, that does bring our night here. Thank you for joining me on the desk once again, Prado. We'll look forward to seeing you again in the coming weeks. But for, week 4 here at the XP Esports Women's League, we are done, dusted. Make sure you're here this time next week for some more phenomenal matches and to see just how spicy things can get at the top of the leaderboard. Be back next time.
Them from great boy. Send your podcast to the 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 great. Hey, hey, yo, yo. Hey, hey, yo, yo. Send your podcast to the great boy. Send your podcast to the great. your punk ass to the grave.